Back in 2012, my life was a complete mess. Disaster was looming ahead for me in June of 2012. And leading the months leading up, basically from the first of the year till June, I was just head first into substances, doing cocaine around the clock, popping Xanax, pain pills, heroin, just anything I could to drown my pain. I had been raped as a child by my Boy Scout leader, who was a lieutenant in the sheriff's department. I saw him in our town with a young boy. It opened up all my pain, and with zero coping skills, the only thing I knew to do was to dive headfirst into drugs and alcohol, and that's what I did. And it eventually led to me completely self-destructing in June when I sought revenge against him. But leading up to that, I knew my life was completely unraveling. I just every fiber in my being, was screaming, that we're at some sort of breaking point in our life. So in late April, I decided to go to a friend's house out in California. He had called me about watching his place while he and his fiance went away for 2 weeks. And I thought in my head, all right, if I go out there and I get away from everybody and everything, maybe I can kick my opiate addiction out there. I'll be left alone for 2 weeks. And I thought I would just taper my pills down each day, less, 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 less. So in my drug-induced mind, my way of getting healthy was to travel to California with a baby powder bottle with 5 grams of coke in it. I filled a vitamin bottle with 100 Xanax, and I filled another vitamin bottle with 120 pain pills. And this is how I was going to get clean, plus alcohol and weed. I knew the withdrawal was going to be hell. I had my opiate addiction for years, and I've heard nothing but horror stories, from those who went through it. But I figured this was like a last-ditch effort on my part. Maybe if I just cut out the opiate part of my addiction, things would slowly improve. So I went out there. My friend and his fiance left. And the first few days of tapering down were fine because I'm starting at 12 pills, then 11, then 10, then 9. So I'm taking a lot of pills still. And I'm popping Xanax and I'm doing bumps of coke. The last few days when I'm at 4 pills a day, 3 pills a day, 2, 1, 0, were complete hell. Sleeplessness, not being able to sleep. My muscles were so tight. I had, like restless leg syndrome. I couldn't stop, shaking my legs. I just couldn't sit still. And I just felt like I was literally going out of my mind, just in agony. And I literally drank every drop of alcohol in my buddy's house. Everything I could get my hands on in his house, I drank. And I was smoking weed, and by now my Xanax is all gone. My cocaine is gone. And it was misery. It was a lot of psychological misery too, on top of the physical misery. But I got through that, and when I got home, I had a drawer filled with hundreds of pain pills still, and I never touched it. I never went back to it. I had another drawer with a whole bunch of cocaine that I had bought ahead of time, knowing I was going to try to kick, the opiates. And all I could think of when I was out in California is, I got to get back to that drawer with coke. I got to get back to that drawer with coke. I dove into the cocaine when I got back, but I never touched another opiate, whether it was heroin or pain pill again. And this is a mere month and a half before my life completely unraveled. And yet I still found something within myself that allowed me to exert a little bit of self-discipline and kick the opiates. And I just had a girl reach out to me with a private message saying, how bad is my withdrawal from opiates going to be? And I'm like, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. You can't sugarcoat it. But I told her, go through it, feel that pain, and tell yourself that you're never, ever, ever, ever going to be a slave to a substance or anything else again. Why would you want? When I was locked up, there was guys that were a revolving door coming into the county jail with addiction issues. And they would come in, they would get a 3-month violation on drug court, come in, get clean, and then go right back out. Go through that process of withdrawal and then go right back out when they got released after a couple months and start up again and then come back in. I was there and I couldn't believe the first time I saw somebody come back for the third time while I was locked up. I'm like, geez. And then they would come back 4 times, 5 times. And it was insanity to me. Like, why are you subjecting yourself to the withdrawal symptoms over and over and over and over and over, and then going back and being a slave again to that substance? It made zero sense to me. And I hate that therapists and people in the substance abuse community will tell addicts, rarely is recovery a straight line. Why do they say that? Like, recovery can be a straight line. Push the addict. Kick them in the ass. Kick her in the ass. Tell them to develop self-discipline and to be true to themselves and not to be a slave to a substance. There's no reason to keep going back and failing. Build up their confidence. People get so used to failing, it just becomes second nature. You have to develop a lifestyle where you get wins as soon as you wake up so that you're not failing and you don't accept failure. So I just celebrated 11 years clean and sober. And this is a person who never saw a reason to live a life without drinking or drugging. Like, why? Why would I do that? And yet here I am 11 years clean and sober. So if I can do it, you can do it. Just find that power within you to say enough's enough, and I'm not going to be a slave to a substance again. Peace.